Buddy has his dad had taught him, and a small bowl from the Welsh dresser in the dining room. Then he went back in the bill room. What an hole you are, you Georgie! Bill said amiably enough and pushed back some of the stick stuff on his night table and put an empty glass, a pitcher of water, Kleenex, books, a bottle of Vicks Vaporub, the smell of which Bill Wall associated his life with thick, plaguey chest and snot nose. The old Pilco radio was there to playing no chopping or beach or batch, but a little Richard tune, very softly, however, so softly that little Richard was robbed of all his raw and elemental power. Their mother who had studied classical piano and Juilliard hated rock and roll. She did not merely dislike it, she abominated it. I am no a hoe, Georgie sighed, sitting on the edge of Bill's bed and putting the things he had gathered of the night table. Yes, you are, Bill said, nothing but a great big brown hole that you. Georgie tried to imagine a kid who was nothing but a great big hole on legs and began to jiggle. Your hole is bigger than the whole state, Georgie replied. This book broke both boys up for nearly 2 minutes. There followed a whispered conversation of the sort which means very little to anyone save a small voice, accusations of who was the biggest hole, who had the biggest hole, which hole was the brownest, and so on. Finally, Bill said one of the forbidden words, the accused Georgie of being a big brown shit a hole, and the would go logging hard. Bill's laughter turned into a cooking fit as it finally began to taper off. By the Bill face had gone a plummy shed which Georgie regarded with some alarm. The piano stopped again. The both looked in the direction of the parlor, listening for the piano bench to scrape back, listening for their mother impatient footsteps. Bill buried his mouth in the crook of his elbow, stifling the last of the cows, pointing at the bleacher at the same time. Georgie poured him a glass of water, which he drank off. The piano began once more. For Alice again, stuttering, Bill never forgot the piece, and even a man years later in Newfield, the brig goose gooseflesh to his arms and back, his heart would drop, and he would remember my mother was playing that the day Georgie did. You gonna call anymore, Bill? No. Bill pulled a Kleenex from the box, made a rumbling sound in his chest, spat plain into the tissue, screwed it up, and tossed it into the wastebasket by his bed, which, which was filled with similar twists of juice. Then he opened the box of paraffin and dropped a waxy cube of the stuff into his palm. Georgie watched him closely, but without speaking of questioning. Bill didn't like Georgie talking to him while he did stuff, but Georgie had learned that if the just kept his mouth shut, Bill would usually explain what they was doing.